Jesus' parable of the soils tells us how the Word of God, which is the good seed, is received whenever it falls upon the human heart. And one of the warnings that he gives is that there's competition for the Word in our life. He says in Mark chapter 4 and verse 18, "And these are they which were sown among thorns, such as hear the word, and the cares of this world, the deceitfulness of riches, and the lusts of other things, entering in, choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful." Well, what is it that might choke the Word of God in our life and cause it to be unfruitful? Well, it's the deceitfulness of riches. That's one of the things that he talks about. And so just how are riches deceitful? Well, one of the ways is they make promises that they can't keep. Proverbs chapter 23 verse 4 says, "Labor not to be rich. Cease from thine own wisdom. Wilt thou set thine eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away as an eagle toward heaven." Don't labor to be rich. And yet that is the desire of so many. And that's what's so deceitful about riches, is you think once I've attained them, then I'll have them. But the problem is sometimes they sprout wings like a great eagle and they just fly away. So they make promises they can't keep. Secondly, they pose as a god. Jesus tells us in Matthew chapter 6 and verse 24, "No man can serve two masters. For either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve God and mammon." And that word mammon is representative of stuff, things, the god of possessions. And so you've got to make a choice, because riches pose as a god. They make promises that they can't keep, and they pose as a god in our life, and people will actually love riches. And when you love riches, you're following after riches, and you're not following after God, and therefore the Word of God is choked out in your life. Number 3, riches prod a man to do evil. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 9, "But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows." This desire to be rich has with it a temptation and a snare. And these foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men as they pursue after riches because they have a love of money. The Bible tells us this love of money is the root of all evil. You can just take your evil and you can trace it back, and what you'll find is a love of money, a desire to be wealthy, a desire to be rich. And the Bible specifically says what we read there in Proverbs, "Labor not to be rich." There's nothing wrong with gainful employment. There's nothing wrong with maintaining or managing wealth. What's wrong is in the heart. And Jesus tells us that the deceitfulness of riches is something that chokes out the Word of God in our life. So I just want to encourage you this morning, as you pursue a love relationship with Jesus, realize that one of the big competitors with that is this desire to be wealthy, which actually can become a god in your life and want your love. And when you give your love to wealth, you can't give your love to God. You got to choose. You can't straddle the fence. You've got to choose. Are you going to serve Jesus, or are you going to serve money? And if you choose to serve money, you better be careful, because there's all kinds of traps and snares along with that, and it will drown you. No, use money. Money's a tool. It's a commodity. But love Jesus. And make a good, plowed up, cultivated soil in your heart to receive the precious seed of the Word of God into it. And don't let those thorns choke it out. God bless you. Have a great day.